I'm not sure if the title of this talk is a threat or a question. Secure your Dapp or get wrecked. Something like that.
It's a question. It's a question. Okay. You'll see now the presentation once we get it.
When I saw it, I was like, is that kind of aggressive? I don't know.
It's a prediction.
Okay, okay. Yeah. Oh, you're not wrong. Let's see.
Yeah, I'm connected and allowed. Okay, let me try again. It's detecting it, so.
There we go.
Oh, there we go.
Cool. Well, whenever you're ready, take it away.
Cool. Thank you, guys. Sorry that I'm in between lunch, so I'll try to make this quite quick. My name is Christopher. I currently work for Polygon, part of the security team. And before that, I've been in security and managing, building, engineering teams in software as a service, crypto, and many other things for quite some time. So yeah, I think we're good. Yeah. Can you guys see the presentation? Good. I'm not crazy. Cool. So the title of my presentation is basically, join, secure your Dapp or join the REKT list. To be honest, it's not a question if you're going to be joining it. It's when you're going to join it and how you're going to join it. This is just like death. Nobody is going to escape from some type of hack, manipulation, or gaming of their protocol, of their application, of their business. No, there's always something's going to happen, But you want to most likely be on that corner, all the way at the bottom right, and you don't want to be at the top left. So this is going to be a very short talk. This is also similar to the talk that I'm going to give on ETHCC. So just shilling that a little bit. And basically, we'll give you some guidance about, just do the basics, please. Like I'm tired of seeing protocols getting hacked in the most dumbest ways possible that could have been avoided with just a little bit of effort. So let's look at a couple of, not recent, but some of the big hacks that have happened over the last couple of years. Now we got the Ronin hack, or also Axie Infinity that has been done. Some private keys got exposed for whatever reasons, and because of that, their bridge got exploded, basically. Badger, this is also a very, very interesting one that has not much to do with crypto, smart contracts, or anything like that, but obviously the implication was, they were able to inject some code into the web page and then trick users to actually approve stuff and move tokens, and then 120 million was actually exploited from the users. CoinCheck, they had an internet-connected hot wallet. Who does that nowadays? Nomad, that also could have been very easily solved if you had some policy, or not policy, but processes in place for making changes to your contracts. And last but not least, obviously, we've seen a ton of this, as well as reentrancy, flash loan attacks, and stuff like that. It's not easy to solve and protect yourself from some of these things, but you can minimize it. You can try to make sure that if it happens, and not really if, when it happens, that you do the least, that it does the least amount of damage, and that your reputation also doesn't get hit. A lot of it has to do, a lot of projects actually survived hacks just because they had a good reaction. They obviously had a good PR campaign after the hack saying like, hey guys, we're sorry, we know what happened, we're going to continue forward, and they recovered for it. Other protocols completely denied it. They're like, no, we don't have anything going on, everything's cool, just chill, and my computer just went off, sorry. So it all depends also on how you react to it. So what do these protocols have in common? I think that's something that, if you look at the first one, hacked private keys, this is a little bit about thinking of how do you protect your private keys? How do you protect your wallets? How do you connect those private keys into your application? Are you using a key storage? Are you using hot wallets? Things like that. In the second case, Badger, this is web apps. This has nothing to do with crypto. This is, you got to protect your DNS. You got to look at your web page. Where are you hosting it? Please don't use Namecheap. things like that. Are you using Vercel? Are you using AWS? Look into those things. I'm going to go into a little bit more detail in a moment. For CoinCheck, we talked about connecting hot wallets, definitely nothing a good thing. Poorly managed changes. That's an interesting one. I bet that most protocols, and I can say that as well for Polygon itself, as good as it is, we have 10 people or even more, 12 people doing security over there. I'm sure there are processes that are not documented. And it's important that you document. Like if you need to make a change to a smart contract, document how you make a change. When do you test it? When do you make sure that the test actually was executed properly? No, did it have the implication that you expected? Do you put monitoring around it? No. And last, obviously, again, cream, flash loans attack. Yeah, how do you protect from a flash loan attack or something similar to that? It's really just try and error. It's using testing tools, is using potentially formal verification, it's potentially using auditors. So again, what do they all have in common? This is hopefully a funny slide. I asked ChatGPT to get me some good examples of people, representative people, representative technology, representative processes. No, so all of these hacks, you could have categorized them in 3 basic ways. Something failed. People failed. No, in this case, Mr. Meeseeks, for those that watch Rick and Morty. Technology failed. This is a very controversial one right now. Nothing against the Ledger people. Guys, from a security person, I tell you, it's cool. Their business team sucks, but from a technology perspective, it's not that bad. It's okay. And then the other part is obviously processes. You can have the best people in the world, the most secure people in the world that do everything absolutely right. You can have a great technology that is, super hardened, super protected, bulletproof, all those type of things, but things can still go wrong. You can still get hacked because of something that has never been seen. Things like flash loans. That's a technology or an attack vector that nobody has seen in the world until crypto actually came to life. So that's why you need some type of battle plan. In this case, this comes from the movie Home Alone. Very, very old movie, probably shows my age. And this is the battle plan that he had to prevent not the hackers, they were not hackers, to prevent the robbers to actually rob the house. No, it was all defense in depth, how we call it in security. He implemented a bunch of different measures to ensure that little by little, we're going to stop slowing the attackers, start slowing the hackers, so that they do not take advantage of or steal things from their house, or if they actually steal them, again, that you end up on that side, that they only stole very little and not everything that you had in your protocol, everything that you had into your treasury. So with that said, if these are the main causes of hacks, or the way you can actually categorize causes of hacks, just implement a couple of things to make sure that these guys are protected. And I'm going to go to that in a second. What I do want to say is that everything, or 90% of what I'm going to show right now in the next slide, that's the most important one, is basically free. You don't have to pay for it. Security doesn't have to be a cost. At least basic security doesn't have to be a cost. Obviously, if you want better security, you want to improve it, you want to ensure that there's more, you can definitely pay for extra services, but it doesn't have to come with a cost. So this is basically my last slide before the end. So I'm, relatively going to take it easy. People told me I'm before lunch, so I didn't want to take, half an hour fully of your time. But so hopefully this doesn't take much as I run through it. So first of all, secure your team. I do not care if you are 1 guy, 2 guys, or an organization of 100 people, okay? Get a security champion. Get somebody that actually cares a little bit about security, and that his responsibility 1 day a week or something like that is ensuring that the protocol, the organization, your web applications are actually safe. Okay, so get a security champion. Second of all, make sure that you implement some training. I know, for those that come from our corporate world, and I've had to do like a lot of security awareness training, those, terrible videos that are constructed, yeah, they're absolutely boring. But there's a reason why. And obviously there should be a way that we can make them more entertaining. How I see security awareness training is teaching you the ways hackers nowadays try to trick you. Now, I think everybody knows about the Nigerian prince, scam. It's basically in every single security awareness training. Like, let's get over that. Let's teach people how people are getting tricked nowadays, and let's teach people to do security awareness by showing examples. For example, Arthur, a very big VC guy that got hacked and stuff like that. Let's explain those examples. You can do everything right, and you can still get hacked. Use secure passwords. Ideally, don't use passwords. Use some type of single sign-on. If you're an admin, if you're using, AWS and stuff like that, use some type of YubiKey or something like that. Multi-factor authentication. Also, teach your people to think a little bit more secure when they do your job. Yeah. Next on securing your team is, also training. I'm not expecting everybody to be security experts over here. I don't expect everybody to understand how every single hack works and how to be protective of every single hack. But if you're a developer, if you're an engineer, if you work in DevOps or stuff like that, you should at least know the basics, like OWASP Top 10. OWASP Top 10 will teach you the top 10 most common attack vectors and how to protect them. I do application security in Polygon, and I am tired of seeing variables, secrets, and keys in the code. Like, come on, guys. Don't you know how to use a .env? Like just at least that. And obviously, don't submit your .env into your GitHub repository. But it happens. It happens every single day. And I'm tired of seeing it, or things like that, or secure input. Don't you know that you have to sanitize a little bit your inputs, make sure that you're not executing SQL commands directly from your input and stuff like that? If you're a developer, if you're an engineer, just learn the basics. OWASP Top 10 is not complicated. There's hundreds and hundreds of videos on YouTube. Some are great, some are horrible, that will teach you. Here are some resources. So you're gonna, be able to get a copy of the slides after in the next one. But basically, I like the one published by S5. It takes like an hour and a half, and it really runs you down with really good examples of how to do all WASP. You want to do some more enhanced training, like how things happen. Application.security has some free modules to teach you how to secure your web apps, web assets, and things like that. And then if you're, relatively a, 10-person team or even more, Amazon has a really great cybersecurity awareness training that is completely for free. It is a fun video. It is, I have to admit, it's relatively fun. It sucks having to look at videos, but, they made it a little bit more entertaining than the typical corporate, like, oh, here's Jane, and Jane is going to the office, and she is printing confidential information. Come on. There's some actual fun ones, that will drive you some of this stuff. Cool. All of that is free. Next, test and secure your stuff, your applications, your systems, all of those type of things. Aim for 100% test coverage. That's what I'm trying to do as well in Polygon. It's an impossible task, I know it. Even if things like CodeCov or coverage tell you it's 100% coverage, it's not really 100% coverage, but aim for it. Ensure that you're doing the most amount of testing as possible into your applications, web apps, as well as smart contracts, especially smart contracts. Use security scanners. I cannot tell you specifically for like web apps, React, JavaScript, even PHP. I don't know who uses that, but even PHP and some other technologies. There are a bunch of security scanners that can be used in order to detect, and they're all free. You can use them. They're very good. They're very concise, and they even give you recommendations, if not solve your code automatically. And last but not least, penetration testing, security audits. I know it's a little bit controversial. Some of it is, can be potentially expensive, but penetration testing doesn't have to be expensive. Like, you can get a pen tester on Fiverr for like $50. I'm not going to tell you it's the best guy in the world, but at least he will probably do the basic scraping and will detect if you actually put a .env in your code. You know? So please, you know, just do some basic stuff. From a security audits perspective, there's a great Twitter thread that is going to be referenced in the next slide that basically talks about you know, how to do security audits on a budget. If you don't have a budget, at least use ChatGPT. I'm sure that ChatGPT will detect like the most stupid code errors and vulnerabilities on your code. If you have, let's say, $200, $500 to spend on an auditor, hire a freelancer. There's a bunch of freelancers that come from C4, no, Code for Arena, or some of the other Sherlock, I forgot. And you know, they will do an audit for $500, $1,000. It's good. It's a good system of defense. And obviously, if you have more budget, if you've raised enough funds and stuff like that, go for some, you know, some good auditing company. It doesn't have to be a tier 1, like, you know, oh, the flashy ones that you see on Twitter, no, that Polygon uses or Uniswap uses. There are nowadays so many good auditing companies. Look at the people that work over there. Look at the team they use. Obviously, things like Code for Arena, I think, are really good. They wouldn't be my first choice of an audit to go for Code for Arena. I would first use a normal auditor company or something like that, and then in parallel or, you know, as a next step, then do something like Code for Arena. Because it really depends on who participates. No, maybe, you know, if you do a Code for Arena test on Christmas, I'm not sure a lot of hackers are actually going to do that. Or if you do it, if you schedule it during ETHCC, or you know, DEFCON or stuff like that, I'm sure the guys have something else to do than actually look at your code on Code for Arena. So a couple of resources here, CodeCoff, all of them free, Foundry Forge to do your test cases. I'm not sure if everybody knows, but SonarQube, I'm a fan of SonarQube. Obviously, I come more from the Web 2 side of things, but I've used SonarQube a lot. It is absolutely free to use it. You can create your own instance, either from yourself, install it even on your laptop, and it's an amazing security scanner for web applications and almost every technology, Golang, Java, C++, even PHP and stuff like that. So yeah, SonarQube is amazing. Obviously, in the Solidity side of world and smart contracts, we still don't have really good security scanners and testing tools. You know, Slitter so far is still, you know, one of the best ones. Look at the different plugins and you know, parameters that you can set over there. But again, it's all free. No, there's no reason why you should not be using that. It's also a waste of money because if you're hiring a security auditing company, the first thing they're going to do is going to throw a Slitter or, you know, a SonarQube or stuff like that, and that's a waste of time. Why do you want the auditor wasting, you know, half a day or a full day running those scanners when you can run them yourself and solve them? You know, ensure that you're, you know, spending your money appropriately. Keys, secrets, you can use GitHub secret scanning, you can use, oh, sorry, I skipped Sneak and Dependabots. So dependencies, a lot of hacks in the traditional world also come from dependencies. A lot of issues, you know, coming with SSL recently in the last couple of years. That's all dependencies, and it's so simple to solve it. Just use Sneak, use Dependabots. Ideally have it to automatically upgrade with, you know, with testing obviously, but automatically upgrade your dependencies. GitHub secret scanning, great tool to detect keys on your code, you know, even private keys so that they don't get exposed. Git Guardian as well has a free version of it, TruffleHog. What else? And if you're using AWS or Google to host some of your infrastructure, AWS Security Hub is free. No, obviously you're paying for AWS, so it's included inside of it. Google Security Command Center is not free. You actually have to pay for it. It's not that expensive, to be honest. If you're already paying for Google services, it's not going to add up much more into your bill. And it's really good. Honestly, it will just look at your whole infrastructure, give you some recommendations, and in most cases, it can automatically solve a lot of those things. So you don't have to be a security expert. Again, anybody in your company, you know, from that has some engineering experience, development experience, can actually run these tools and just solve them and decrease your attack surface. Last over here, best practices and standards. When I joined crypto, I've been doing crypto for a lot. I actually mined Bitcoin, then lost that computer, and threw everything. Like, oh, this stupid thing. Well, why would anybody use it? And then Ethereum came, and it's like, oh, okay, this is a little bit more interesting than Bitcoin, to be honest. Where's that old computer? Yeah, no, it didn't exist. But where I'm going to is a lot of the issues that we see nowadays have been solved. We don't have to reinvent incident response process. We don't have to reinvent how to do vulnerability management. We don't have to reinvent how we do change management, all those type of things. There are standards. Yeah, if you do not know how to, have an incident response plan, ChatGPT. Hey, ChatGPT, can you give me the 10 steps for a good incident response plan? It will give you the 10 steps for a great incident response plans, and stuff like that. So, follow best practices. Use GitHub Actions to automate as much as possible things inside of your repository. Create some CI/CDs. If you have DevOps guys, or if you are the DevOps guys into things like that, use things like automatic deployment so you don't make mistakes when you're deploying a new version of your Dapp or of your application. Use branch protection. I wanted to do, and actually I didn't have time, check around all major projects in just like the crypto space and figure out who has branch protection. If you don't know what branch protection is, it means basically that you cannot commit a code change directly into production, basically. No? And that actually you need to get approvals, you need to open a pull request, and, it's just that it helps verify that nobody is putting anything malicious, and that also you're not putting anything that has code issues. Bug bounty and responsible disclosure programs, again, pen testing, testing in general, security audits, they're just a snapshot in time. They're testing your code at that specific moment, and you're going to make changes. And specifically in crypto and just technology in general, we're moving faster than we can actually test and verify applications. So bug bounty, responsible disclosure programs are a great way to make sure that you have other people looking at your project. And again, also very controversial, but you don't have to put $1 million bounties if you don't have them. You can also put like 10,000 bounties, $1,000 bounties, $50 bounties. Now, obviously, the amount of the bounty will tell you the amount of hackers you actually are going to get looking at your code, but at least have a way for people to report stuff. Okay, because there's actually good people in the security community. Not everybody wants to steal your money. There's actually people that want to actually help make your protocol more secure. And I've heard this time over time, like, does anybody know a contact on this project? I found something and I don't know how to report it. Like, I don't want money. I just want to make sure that the guys fix it. There is a lot of people like that, I promise you. Change management, incident response. At Polygon, for example, we just rebuilt our changes to our contracts. Like if we need to onboard or offboard a validator set, or we need to, change the stake in, what is the amount of Matic that you need to be staking in order to become a validator and stuff like that. Those are changes to smart contracts. Those smart contracts hold a ton of money. And it's not only the money, it's just the fact that they control certain aspects of how the protocol works. So we have a 13-step process in order to make changes to our contracts. No? And between those 14 steps, there's at least 4 of those that are security steps, meaning they're audit checks. That means that checking the call data, checking that the guy that submitted the transaction is actually allowed to submit the transaction, checking that the guy that submitted the transaction actually submitted the appropriate data in the transaction, because he probably copy-paste, but he can make mistakes and stuff like that. Unfortunately in crypto and when working with multi-sigs and stuff like that, it's not that easy, especially if you're not good at it, and it's very prone to error. So just make a little process, about every time you make a change, that you follow the same steps. And that comes to something I learned in my previous job where the CTO told me this, is like, if you do something more than 2 times, the same thing more than 2 times, write it down, and it's a process. It doesn't matter if it's 3 bullet points. If you did it twice, write it down, because I'm sure you're gonna do it again. Yeah, and that's how you go, and then you go improving it, and then you add another step, and you add another step, and you add another step, and in a couple of months, you're gonna end up in probably Polygon having 13 steps to actually make a little change into a contract. But that ensures us that we're not losing anything. And well, it took me more than I expected, but what else did I have over here? Incident response, I already said. ChatGPT will build you a great incident response plan. So a couple of resources over there, how to set up branch protection. Cloudflare, please don't use Namecheap, and if you're using it, please use multi-factor authentication and domain protection. But if not, Cloudflare is free, and it provides you a lot of other tools to protect your DNS, to protect your domain. Yeah, HackerOne, Bugcrowd, Immunify in terms of bug bounty programs, and then yeah, the vulnerability disclosure. Put a security.md file into your GitHub or into your domain so that actual good hackers know where to report stuff that they find. So that was it. Here's a couple of extra info that I really like, and I always recommend to people asking me for stuff, like a High Hitcher's Guide for the Galaxy or to Security by Emiliano Bossi. Great information over there. Some web application security checklists if you have a web app. Some OPSEC, like you're all in your conferences over here. I'm sure you're all flashing your ledgers, like crazy. Oh yeah, I got $1 million in my ledger. That's great OPSEC over there. I don't know how to do this one, the how to do low budget audits. That's a really great resource, even with recommendations of different auditors, depending if, how much you can pay for it. DeFi hack lags, I love this one. If you're actually interested in reproducing hacks that happened in the past, this guy over here or this company over here actually put together a way to simulate or recreate all these hacks that have happened in the last couple of years. And last but not least, smart contract auditor guide. This is our, just an aggregation of a lot of audits and findings from audits that have been found over the last couple of years on many different platforms. So there's a QR code if you want to get the presentation immediately. I'm sure, if not, they're going to be available somewhere in the conference site and stuff like that. Yeah, I hope that this was useful. Like please don't fall for the stupid things. Like if you get hacked, get hacked properly. Find a new attack vector. Cool, man. Look what this guy actually did. This is absolutely new. And don't be the dumb one that actually submitted their AWS key into GitHub or stuff like that, because it happens, and it happens a lot. And it's sad that it happens because it's so dumb. So. Yeah, if you want to follow me on Twitter, I do not post. I only retweet stuff, and obviously I just browse and have fun of the crypto drama. That was it. I'm hungry, so I hope you guys are too, and thank you.